great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, a lovely lady, our first female speaker, by the way, on the main stage. Give her a hand for that already. Lou Harty. I met Lou at a seminar, 21st Century seminar, about 6 years ago. She came to that seminar. She was very passionate, committed, and she went away from that event, took the strategies and applied it to her life. She did share renting. She invested in real estate. She did multiple strategies. She did internet marketing, which we teach as well. She got into trading as well. She's pretty much diversified in so many strategies and a great example of doing many strategies. And I remember having a conversation about 6 months ago with Lou. She was so excited. She phoned me and said, Jamie, I just wanted to tell you something, is that, you know, back when I sat in that seminar back in 2005, my goal was one day I wrote down to have $1 million in cash sitting in my bank account. And I'm just ringing you today to let you know that I want to thank you because today I finally achieved that goal and I have over $1 million in cash sitting in my bank account. And if it wasn't for you, that wouldn't have happened. So give her a hand for that. So she is an awesome example of a down-to-earth woman that has just gone out there, a mother of several children, that's done all these strategies, raising a family, was able to retire from her job, and she'll share a little bit of a story. But why I'm also bringing her up here is that she's going to share with you, and she's going to invite some other speakers up with her in just a moment to teach you very quickly a strategy about the United States investment market, real estate market. It's a strategy that I do recommend if you're educated, that I'm doing personally myself, so I'm happy to share it with, have it shared with you. There's tremendous opportunity over there if you know what you're doing and if you have the help of people that will hold your hand. So they're going to run through that very quickly for you. So without any further ado, can you please help me welcome to the 21st Century stage, Miss Lou Harty.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Stay with me. Stay with me. Whoa. Back in 2005, I'd spent 18 years in the Australian Army. And I made a decision that I needed something to change, right? So I was spending too much time away from my husband, too much time away from my beautiful children. And then my mother said to me, you know, you've got to really weigh up, Lou, what it is you want to do. If you want to be a mum, you've got to stay home and be a mum, and you need to do the things you want to do. So I got online, right, and I went looking for other career opportunities. So I Googled things like how to get rich, how to make money. I found Melaleuca, Tupperware, you know, selling things, all those things that people sell. And I tried doing that, and I went, nah, it's not going to work. So what I did then is I found this guy named Jamie McIntyre. I'd never heard of him before, and he had a book called What I Didn't Learn at School but Wish I Had. So I downloaded the book, watched the DVD, pretty much it opened my mind to what I didn't know. And I thought, you know, I'm a pretty intelligent sort of woman, and I thought I knew a lot about a lot of things. But when you're in an institution like the military, all you're focused on is, you know, preparing for military activities. So I knew nothing about property. I just knew a lot of people had to have them because it would make them money, right? I knew nothing about trading because I just assumed only rich blokes do that, right? I knew nothing about business because I just thought only rich blokes do that too. So Jamie pretty much introduced me to financial education. So that was me there, and I was training soldiers for about, you know, a long time. Sending them off to war. Kids would come in, 17-year-old, 18-year-olds. You know, we'd train them and then we'd ship them off. You know, some would come back, some wouldn't. It's just the way, it was part of that business, right? So I had to go, okay, I've got to get out of this. So there's me at home, like every morning I'd get up, I'd feed my kids, I'd ship them off to daycare, and I'd go and work. And I did that for 20 years, downloaded Jamie's stuff. I bought the home study back then. It was about $4,000 or $5,000, paid it off like $50 a month. I think I only finished paying it off like last year. He wouldn't even give me a discount. Can you believe that? So then, you know, that's where I was. And you know that saying that he uses, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You know, I could train soldiers. I always train soldiers. So that's why I feel really comfortable with you guys, because to me, you're just civvies, right? But I love civvies. Yeah, civilians. So I feel very comfortable teaching people, and I love to teach people. So I just followed his strategies, right? So, you know, but one of the most important lessons he taught me was modeling. Who's heard him? And all of the speakers here today say that. So that's what I did. I just I just modeled people that I wanted to be like. And I sought them out, I bought different programs, I started trading. Some of these people you know, you recognize yourself, and they actually helped me to where I am today. So now I trade Forex and futures, that's my passion. I run a number of internet marketing businesses, and I just learned how to do this. It's not really hard, right? All I did is apply myself. It's just simple as that. So I don't think you need to have, all these fancy degrees to go off and do those things. If you're really passionate about doing something, you have to actually get off your ass and do something about it. That's what you have to do. You can't sit there and make excuses for, I've got no time, no money. Man, I was in the army, a chick in the army, right, with 3 kids. My husband spent most of our military life away at war, right? So I would study all of these strategies, trading. Nick Halleck, he was the first dude to introduce me how to trade. I traded Sharelord options. Any Sharelord traders in the room? Right? Any Forex traders in the room? Right? Excellent. So I just did those stuff because I knew these people made a lot of money. So, and then, look, you can see there's some other mentors there, some internet marketing friends of mine, some trading guys, Daniel Kircher, Jordan Belfort, being able to align with this group of people is extraordinary. And like Jamie said before, it can take you a long time to actually get to where you want to get to, but it's quicker if you have that education, that financial education. So if you know that you want to get to here to there in 18 months' time, for example, that's what I did. I said, okay, in 18 months' time, I want to retire from the military so I can stay home and look after my children. And I did, but because I set that short-term goal, I put it out there, and I went, okay, what do I need to do now? Well, I need to study. I need to trade. I need to invest in real estate. I need to structure my business. I need to learn about business for a start. I need to learn about goddamn tax. Who loves tax? Hands up. No one? Excellent. I hated it too. But now I still hate it. But I have Warren Black as our accountant to help me do that. So you need to leverage your time. And the most important thing, guys, is time is the most important thing to me. Greg Secker, who loves him? What a spunk that guy is. Oh, you're pretty good looking too. Right, but he's lovely.
Thanks, Lou.
What about this big spunk? Hands up who thinks Eric's a spunk. What about the girls in the room? Any of those? And how's that? I met him yesterday. Who met Tim yesterday? Tim Ferriss. Do you know what? I just lost 11 kilos, right, in 3 months from doing the slow carb diet and the kettlebell swing. All right, because I wanted to have something in common with him when I sat and talked to him yesterday. And I did. I had 5 minutes in common with him. It was great. I gave him a kiss. I went, hi, Tim. So, yeah. It's a funny thing about these, our friends overseas.
We're a friendly bunch, yes.
We're bigger people here in Australia and New Zealand. Wait till you see Jeff and Kane. Have you seen those guys? They're beautiful. I had to kiss them too. They're cute. We love them. All right, so, in all seriousness now, so models, pick a strategy, something that works for you. Everything will work for you. Whether it's property or whether you're digging trading or whether you want to get into business or whether you want to get into finance, tax, whatever it is. The thing is you find a strategy, right? Then you find a mentor or a coach that's going to keep you accountable, just like you do for golf, just like you do for anything, right? And they will push you beyond what you would normally go. Raise your standards for a change. That'll be something different. Right? Aim for here. Don't aim for here because everyone gets that. That's boring crap. You need to push it up here. The reason I've made such a success in my life is purely because I'm disciplined. I know what I want, I'm committed, and I'm absolutely certain I'm going to achieve it. Have I lost money in the markets? Absolutely. Will you? Of course you will. Get over it. Right? Just get over it. Keep your risk low. Right? Protect your downsides. Stay committed, and you will do and be whatever you want to be. Does that make sense? Give me a clap for that because I'm about out of breath. Okay, I better get a wiggle on. Now, this is my husband. This is another major important part. If you guys and women are about to adopt into a strategy that you're a bit unfamiliar with, a bit scary, right, that's called growth. Right? If something's a bit uneasy, feels uneasy, that is growing. If you have got a partner that is supportive of you, it makes the journey easier. Is that true? Who's happy with a happy wife? Hands up. Who's happy with their husband's happy? Hands up. That's how life works. Who's not happy because they don't have a wife or a husband? A couple of you. Look at all those single people in the crowd. Jamie, are you single?
I am
today,
single, yes.
with me you are?
I'm single,
right?
Yes.
Okay, because my husband's here somewhere. Anyway, have a supportive partner because the last thing you want is, one, an unambitious partner, right? You want an ambitious man. Well, I do, anyway. And you want him to push you, or her to push you and be supportive. You don't want him to go, see, I told you that wouldn't work. You know, you want someone to go, yeah, babe, that's good, keep going. Whether you fall over or not, you need someone to pick you up, so you need that support. There's my family. Oh, I love them. We live in Williamstown on the water. You know, I've got a 15-year-old, 13-year-old, and a little playmate, 5-year-old. He's a little, I think he's post-Afghanistan baby. They're actually post-war children. So they're here, that's them. Everything I do, guys, is for them, right? My family is my life. Who here, their family is their life. That's what is the most important thing. These strategies are they're this much, right? Strategies are small. The rest is psychology, your family, and who will guide and love you. And there's my favourite. His name's Rain. He's my favourite because he's a boy, he's a spunk, he looks like me, and he's just the cutest. The other two, well, you know, they're growing up, they're teenagers. So anyway, my why is that. Your why is different. The reason you're here is to get empowered, get inspired, to trade, to invest in real estate, to buy land, to do business, to learn, educate yourself on tax structures, to structure your own businesses, whatever it may be. But whatever it is, it has to be about that. It has to be what drives you. If it's not what drives you, well then shit, you're not even supposed to be here, right? You're honestly just, you know, you're just playing with it. Okay, so your why has to make you cry. And then that will make you drive to whatever you want to do. And that's where your passion comes from. Who here thinks that makes sense, or is that a bit weird for most of you? 2 of you? Thanks for your support. Which leads me on to that.
I'm going to leave it with you now. I go have a break.
Hey, I would just like to thank Jamie because, you know, only a couple of years ago, I was doing his home study, started trading, sent in a little email testimonial. Oh, I'm Lou from Perth. I've just made this money. I bought this house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He helped me, you know, negotiate, make $1 million net from one really good property deal. And then that money was used to invest in other strategies, right? So it's because of him that now, from Soldier, I'm standing on a stage that's shared with Tim Ferriss, Greg Secker, you know, Richard Branson, all those dudes. So please give it up for him. You've been amazing. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so I'm now one of the, I've sort of fell into it by default, one of the leading educators along with Conrad for 21st Century. And because I do trade Forex and I teach Forex and futures and, you know, as I said, any strategy you can do, you've just got to put your mind, learn it and get coached. So the next thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to bring up a team shortly, which is an amazing team. They're from the US, right? So Jamie's talked a bit about trading US property. And like, as you know, and you've heard from Harry Dent and stuff, you know, there's 30, 40, 50% off, up to 60, 70% off some of these houses. Now, to me, if you imagine what that would be like in Australia, imagine where you currently live right now. And imagine going around and just seeing all these foreclosure signs down your street. Can you picture that? It is really hard for us as Aussies and Mozzies, Māori Aussies, to actually picture that, right? So when I actually saw this strategy, which was only probably about 7 or 8 months ago when I heard Harry Dent talking about it, and then, you know, I knew a fair bit from the GFC, but mainly the trading side because I'm a professional trader. But I didn't really get into houses until I saw this strategy. And what we've got here now, I've got a team that I'm going to bring up. So just have a look at some of these things, right? So if you ever wish to invest in this 20 years ago, would you actually buy houses in St Kilda or Williamstown or Brighton if they were 20, 30 year ago prices? Hands up who would buy there now, right? So you need to relate whatever I'm going to talk about in the next 20 minutes, you need to relate that to your current circumstances. So who would be happy if you didn't have to pay stamp duty? Hands up high. What about the others? No stamp duty. How awesome would that be? What about getting properties for about $20,000, $30,000? Does that seem real? That is like absolutely unheard of. And that's all I needed to see, because when you guys, like Jamie said, you're sophisticated, intelligent investors, and you have to see it for what it is. Don't question all the little bits, because that's part of a due diligence package that you should naturally do anyway, right? If you are looking at getting into a business that you want it to be profitable, right, you go in there with the pure intention of making money from that business. Is that true? Right? You would never, ever enter into a business arrangement knowing that it's going to plump. Is that right? So that's how you've got to position yourself. So buying without leaving Australia. Who's bought a house in Australia they've never actually gone and seen? Who's bought an investment property that they've never ever gone and seen? A lot of people have. I've done that before. As long as I've got, what are some of the things that will make me feel happy about with real estate? Just yell it out. What do I need more than anything if I'm buying an investment property? Cash. Did you hear that? Everyone said cash. Because we want cash, we want good tenants. Is that true? Right? If you've got shitty tenants, then that's not going to make us feel good, especially if they are across the way. Right? The way is like way over in the USA. Right? So that's what you've got to think of, but you need to have that support system there. You need people to be able to be on the ground, a dedicated team that it's aligned with something that you know, something that's familiar to you.